Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're doing acrostics. This is a quick tutorial on what the heck an acrostic is and how to write one. So I'm sure plenty of you, or I would hope that plenty of you already know what an acrostic is, but if you don't, it's okay. So again, here's the poetry assignment folder. You can choose acrostic, blackout, or slam. If you want to be cool, you're going to choose acrostic. Clearly I have a favorite. And in the folder you'll find a doc that has acrostic examples, and then the PDF which shows the assignment page. I'm sorry, it did not upload very clear. I can't fix it. Sorry. It's not super blurry. You should be able to read it. But anyways, I'm just going to take you through what this says and go through it together. Okay. So this assignment has you going vertical, writing an acrostic poem. So an acrostic is a type of poem you probably first wrote in elementary school. It's when the writer takes a word or phrase, writes it vertically on the page, and then builds each line beginning with a letter of the word or the phrase. So basically I just said that most people use it for, greeting cards to surprise their mom on Mother's Day. So cute. I know that there's a bunch of them hanging in Mr. Vargas's office, which is really cute. However, you can be way more advanced and creative with an acrostic than, the traditional use. So here are some ways that you can get a little more advanced. You can build your poem with rhyming couplets, A, A, B, B, C, C, D, D, or A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, or any other rhyme scheme of your choosing. You can try to end your poem with the first word you used. I love when poems do that. It just acts as like a cycle, and it gives a strong note of like finality to the work. You can try a double acrostic where the first and last letter of each line are also the same letter. So the root word or phrase appears like a code on both sides of the poem. It's really tricky to do, but it's awesome. It's such a great payout if you can do it. And then, I know you guys love doing this, sarcasm. You can try to make every line the exact same number of syllables. So the meter would be the same in every single line. So that's just a quick little, suggestion on ways that you can make it more advanced than your typical mother acrostic poem. All right, so I'm going to read the assignment here, specifically requirements that I'm giving to you so that way you can get 100, okay? First, you need to write the word or the name or the phrase, whatever the subject, the topic of your poem is, as the title, okay? And then you have to use a rhyme scheme. It doesn't matter to me which rhyme scheme you choose. You can do couplets, the A, B, B, C, C, D, D, or you can alternate A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D. It's up to you. It needs to be typed and it needs to be left justified, so that way you can actually read what the word is that you're spelling. All right, so let me just rotate this. Here's an example. It's in Lewis Carroll, when he wrote Through the Looking Glass, which is your classic Alice in Wonderland story, he spells out Alice Pleasance Lydell, who is the real life family friend. It's the girl that inspired his story, Alice in Wonderland. So it's pretty clever. This is just a very classic, very typical type acrostic. He's got her name spelling out straight down as the first letters in each line. Now, if you want to, also, just for you guys, if you can't figure out what you want to write your poem on, you're like, oh, this is so annoying, I can't even think of, a topic. I have 3 pages for you of just ideas. Here are American authors that you might want to write about. Maya Angelou, love. Langston Hughes, love. Kendrick Lamar. All these people And if you don't know anything about them, but you want to do an American author, just do a quick Google. You can include some of their biographical information in it, so on and so forth. Here is, oops, sorry. These are all characters from Romeo and Juliet. And same idea, you might want to choose, Romeo, but you don't really know anything about him. Do some research and then create a poem based on that. And last, here are some popular movies. Most of these are like Disney or Pixar. So yeah, get creative. I don't care what your topic is. You don't have to choose any of these if you don't want. These are just some ideas. Okay. Now, if you click on the Google Doc, it'll take you to some acrostic examples. And I just put 2 examples here from Poe and then Poe's wife. So the first one, Valentine to her husband, Virginia, who we know was Poe's wife, wrote an acrostic poem for him. So here I just have 2 websites, and they both host the poem, and same with here. They're both the same poem, but both of them have different information. So if you really want to read a little bit more about it, you can click. Here is some information about Virginia and the Valentine. Here it is. You can read it on your own time. It spells out Edgar Allan Poe. Okay. Same with this website, Edgar Allan Poe, and then I like that they actually highlighted first letter so you can more visibly see that it spells out Edgar Allan Poe. There's some cool information here on these websites, which is why I shared it. This one, I think that you guys read it last year with Ms. Jackson, but I could be wrong. This is a Valentine that Poe wrote, but it was not for Virginia. Not for his wife at all. Here is an acrostic that he wrote for some chick, and he did it, and it is not the left side. He actually kind of like coded this, and it's hidden throughout the poem. So actually this one is a very interactive website. It says, Poe wrote this poem for a specific person. The woman's name is hidden within the text. Can you find it? Here's the solution. And look at that. Some chick, okay? Not his wife. But if you want to read about who that woman is and why he wrote it for her, here are the websites that, you can do that. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to create a Google Doc. Very simple. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to create one real quick. I'm going to title it Acrostic. Please put your name next to it, because I always get confused when I have like a million that just say acrostic. And then you want to start by making sure it's left justified. Let's say I want to write mine on quarantine. Pretty fitting, right? That's what I start by doing. I start by spelling it out entirely, making sure that it's spelled right, because that could be just a disaster if you don't even spell the word right. It's already, not very good. So you start with the word all the way left justified, and then you fill in the rest. Again, you have to make sure that you have a rhyme scheme, either couplets or an alternate rhyme scheme, and you can choose how you want to challenge yourself. If you want to make it all the same meter, same amount of syllables, if you would like to keep it simple and not challenge yourself, you can totally do that as well. So let's, well, first of all, I already kind of messed up here. I got to make sure that there's a title. So my title is Quarantine Life, we'll call it. Okay. And I'm going to center that because that's the title, and then I got to make sure that I put the whole word here, quarantine. Okay. The 3 requirements, to remind you again, are, let me rotate this. Oh no, whoops, sorry. I've got the title, check. This is typed and left justified, check. And then I have to do a rhyme scheme. So I'm pretty much already done. I just have to, actually fill in the rest of the poem. Again, I mentioned that you can challenge yourself. You can do these, people, if you really want, but I'm not saying you have to. Okay, I know that you have a lot of time on your hands right now, so it might be fun to try and do a little extra. But anyways, let's say that I wrote quack quack, quack quack from the only free creatures, and I'm going to use enjambment. So my first line is going to continue on to the next. Under the sun during uncertainty. Quack quack, actually I'll say, is what I hear. All right, and I'm going to do an alternate rhyme scheme. So I got to make sure that creatures, it rhymes here. So I'll probably say something like features all of my close friends be on TikTok getting those features right on the For You page. But then I gotta make sure I rhyme with uncertainty. So I'm gonna stop there because I don't need you watching me struggle to write this poem. But I hope you have fun with it. Try your best, get creative, and yeah, can't wait to see them. Oh, before you, obviously, you gotta make sure you share it with me as well. So, KD, Kayla Dewar, send. Okay, and yeah, I'm excited to read them. Have fun.